Dear students, today the topic is softwares for project management. So far we discussed about various theories, concepts and numerical problems. So these previous lectures are only for understanding the concept, but when you go for as a software professional person, so what will happen, you need to understand certain software packages. And other advantage of software package is that when you are handling a mass project, very huge projects, managing all the activities, scheduling, allocating resources is very challenging task. So that is why you need to understand what are the commercially available software. So now in this lecture I am going to discuss about some of the softwares which are available. So the agenda for this lecture is some overview of some software for project management. There are many softwares available, but for the purpose of academic classroom purpose, I am going to use MS Project. I am going to explain what are the salient features of Microsoft Project. The another very popular project management for software is Oracle Primavera. That also I am going to explain various features of that. Then I have explained some theories on how to allocate resources in MS Project. The next class I will give you the demo on resource allocation. So softwares for project management. There are various software tools available for project management catering to different needs and preferences. Some of them are Trello, Jira, Microsoft Project, Smartsheet, ClickUp, ZenKit, Primavera and Teamwork. It is essential to choose a project management software that align with your team's workflow and requirement. Even though there are many softwares are available, before choosing the right software, you have to see that whether it is aligned with your team members or aligned with the comfort of your team members and your top management. First we will discuss about Microsoft Project. Microsoft Project is a powerful tool that allows you to plan, track, analyze and report on the progress of one or many related projects. In the process of doing so, however, an enormous amount of data is generated. To avoid overwhelming the user, Microsoft Project uses a clever data management approach that simplifies the project manager's job. Because in the Microsoft they have other related softwares like Excel, PowerPoint and so on. What they have done, that they have used the advantage of Excel and they have used project management concept into that. Then the new software called Microsoft Project has come. The advantage here is it is easily connected with your MS Excel, Microsoft Excel. There are many features are available. I myself I am using this MS Project for my classroom, but the best part of this software package is it is very easy to understand the concepts. So like that there are many features are available. So some of the salient features I will discuss now. One is the task management. Microsoft Project allows users to create and manage a task, set dependencies between tasks and define task duration. In the previous lecture also I have given a small demo how to draw a Gantt chart, there how to enter the task and so on. So it provides a Gantt chart view for visualizing task timelines. The next feature is resource management. Users can assign resources, both human material, to task. We can track the resource availability and we can manage the workloads. For example, one resources, if you allocate the same resources for 2-3 tasks, that resource workload may become very high. So you can level that workload. That is possible, very easily possible with the help of this MS Project software. The software helps in optimizing the resource allocation for efficient project execution. The next very popular feature of MS Project is Gantt chart. Gantt charts provide a visual representation of project schedules showing task duration, dependencies and milestones. So with the help of Gantt chart we can say what are the tasks, what are the duration is there, how these tasks are dependent. We can see the dependencies, that is we can see the predecessors or we can see the successors of activities and so on. Another thing is we can include some milestones also. So milestone here is nothing but a task which will not consume any resources, but it is only for our purpose of understanding. So, users can easily adjust the schedule and dependencies by dragging and dropping element in the Gantt chart view. Next, timeline view. The timeline view offers a high level overview of the project schedule, allowing users to see key milestones and phases at a glance. It is a useful tool for communicating project timelines to stakeholders. The next feature is reporting. There are so many ways of reporting the project performance or the project details in MS Project software. So, reporting provides various reporting tools and templates to create customized report on project progress, resource utilization and other key metrics. Users can export reports to various formats for sharing with team members and stakeholders. In my next lecture, I will be taking on how to read various reports. And very other interesting things about this MS project is integration with Microsoft Office. As I already explained, so Microsoft project seamlessly integrates with other Microsoft Office applications such as Excel and SharePoint. This allows for easy data import, export and collaboration among team members using familiar tools. The next feature is collaboration features. The software support collaboration through features like shared project files, collaborative editing and communication tools. The benefit of this collaboration feature is the people who are involved in the project team, they can collaborate on the same project using this MS Project software. Users can share project information with the team members and stakeholders. For the purpose of collaboration, you know that Microsoft project also have teams. So, there even your project can be the project progress, project discussion can be done with the help of Microsoft team. Then customization. Microsoft project offers a high degree of customization, allowing users to tailor project plans and views according to their specific needs, because even the column can be customized. If you want, you can add new columns, or if you want to see the views, that views can be customized. So, custom fields, views and tables can be created to capture and display project information. The next feature is task and project dependencies. Users can define dependencies between tasks such as finish to start, start to start, finish to finish and start to finish. So, how to do this one? In the next lecture I will be explaining. For example, what is the finish to start? An activity, for example, A and B is there. B can be started after finishing of A, that is the meaning of finish to start. Start to start, activity A and B is there. If the A is started, then the B also has to be started. Then finish to finish. So, when you are finishing activity A, then we have to specify that B also has to be finished. Then start to finish, project A started, then the project has to finish. Like that, various dependencies easily can be incorporated in the Microsoft project software. So, this ensures that tasks are scheduled in the correct order. The next feature is risk management. Microsoft project includes features for identifying and managing project risk. Users can assess the impact of risk on the project schedule and make informed decisions to mitigate potential issues. For example, we can say the baseline, then we can update that baseline. Suppose there is a delay, that will show how much days we are behind it, that is the way we can measure the risk, or we can say how much money we have spent more. So, the cost should not exceed. So, that risk everything can be monitored with the help of this risk management features. Then baseline tracking. So, baseline tracking, just now I have informed you, that enables users to compare the original project plan with the current project status. Suppose I have a project, I have planned this activity has to be completed say 5 days. On the third day, I can compare how much work has been completed. Then we can see the variance also. So, likewise for each and every activities, to know the progress, to control that activity, this baseline tracking is very useful options. So, this helps in identifying deviations Deviation means variance from the initial plan and taking corrective actions. Then cost tracking. Microsoft projects support tracking project cost including labor, material and other expenses. Budgets can be established and actual cost can be compared to planned cost for better financial control. We have discussed about earned value analysis. There we can see what is the budgeted cost, what is the actual cost. We can compare it, how much variation is there. So, that is easily possible with the help of cost tracking features. The next popular software is Oracle Primavera. So, Primavera, now known as Oracle Primavera, is a suite of project management tools designed for large and complex projects. It is widely used in industries such as construction, engineering and manufacturing. The software provides a comprehensive set of features that project planning, scheduling and execution. When I was discussing MS Project, so MS Project for understanding concepts, for the volume of the project become very high, then it is better to use this Primavera software. Now, we will discuss some of the features of Primavera. So, project planning and scheduling. It creates detailed project and schedules using the critical path method, establish task dependencies to reflect sequence of project activities. It utilizes the resources loading and leveling of optimal resource allocation. Then multiple project management, manage and control multiple projects simultaneously. Then portfolio management features for overseeing and optimizing the performance of a project portfolio also possible with the help of this Primavera software. Then resource management, efficiently allocate and manage resources including personnel, equipment, materials. Resource leveling to balance workloads and prevent over allocation, that also can be done. Then cost management, we can track project cost, expenses and budgets. We can integrate with the financial system for comprehensive cost analysis. Then risk management, we can identify, assess and manage project risk, implement risk mitigation strategies and track risk related tasks. Then document management is another feature of Primavera project management software. So, centralized document repository for storing and managing project related documents, version control and document sharing capabilities, that are all very useful features of Primavera software. Next one is reporting and analytics. Generate variety of reports on project tracking and analysis. We can utilize dashboard and analytical tools for real time project insight. The next feature is integration with other system. Integration with Oracle database and other enterprise ecosystem is possible. Exchange data with other project management and business software. So, this is also compatible with the other softwares. The next very beautiful and very important feature of this Primavera project is earned value management. Implement earned value management techniques for measuring project performance against baselines. So, for measuring the performance of project, to measure the performance of each and every task, that is possible with the help of this earned value management. Globalization and multi-language support. So, support for projects with international teams and stakeholders, multi-language capabilities for global deployment. Another feature is user access and security. Role based access control to restrict access to sensitive project information. For example, the project manager, he may have full access to all project activities. Suppose the lower level manager may not have full access. So, that access control is possible with the help of this Primavera software, because the lower level managers may not know how his other people, those who are in the other levels of the management, how they are doing their project. So, that information not required for this fellow, but for the project manager he can see the overall project progress. So, we can restrict the access based on their destination. Then mobile access. Mobile applications are web interfaces to access project information on the go is possible. Then Primavera cloud services. Cloud based services for enhanced collaboration and accessibility is possible. It facilitates remote project management and team collaboration. Then scalability, it is suitable for managing large and complex projects, including mega projects and programs. In the beginning of the lecture also I have informed that the Primavera is most suitable for a large and complex projects. Now I will explain how to do a resource allocation with the help of MS project. Now I will give you only the overview of the resource allocation, but in the next lecture with the help of MS project I will tell you how actually the resource has to be allocated. A project consists of activities that have distinct beginning and end, and the people, equipment and supplies used to complete those activities known as resources. So far in our lectures we have considered only the time and cost as the two important resources. For example, in the critical path we find out what is the total project completion time. When we come the resource allocation, we consider only few resources and resource leveling also, but that we have done with the help of heuristic method. You remember there was the resource allocation problem. So we have considered only two resources, one is manpower, another one is equipment. But when the more number of resources need to be allocated, so we need to completely depend on softwares. Once you have entered the task and resources into a project, you will want to specify which resources will be made available to work on each task. So first we have to specify the resources. Once the resources are specified, that has to be allocated with each task. A connection between a resource and task is known as assignment. Each time resource is scheduled to work on task, a new resource assignment is created in your project. So we will discuss there are three types of resources there. One is work, second one is material, third one is a cost. So in the MS project what it has done, a project is there. So we have defined task, then we have resources. So when you allocate these resources to the task, it is becoming the assignment. So allocating task, allocating resource the task is becoming assignment. So this gives the very practical intuition of how to execute a project with the limited resources. But in our theoretical perspective, so far we did not consider we consider only few resources, a time or cost. But apart from that, in practice when you go to in the field of project management, you have to handle lot of resources, and allocation of that resources for optimal use of that resources is more important. So that is nothing but the assignment. Now what will happen, we can add milestones to a project file also. For example, here you see I have entered start, then I have entered finish. So when you open your MS project, so start will not show any resources and time duration, but you have to show the dependencies. For example, start, so for activity A it has to precede the start activity. So you have to link that start and end. So what will happen when you link it, you see that, so there will be a, here dependency is not mentioned, that is why it is not connected. You see that here at the end of the project. So this is nothing but milestone. So milestone is to see the progress of the project or to know whether we have reached a particular milestone of a project or not. Next what we can do, grouping a task into a logical order. So we have studied programs, projects, work packages and task. So in the MS project we can write for example project. In that project we can see different work packages. In that work packages what are the individual tasks are available. So that can be grouped. So when you select that work packages, when you click on indent, so that will become the subset of your work package. So there are different work packages, when you click on the indent, so it will become work packages will be subset of our project. So that is the purpose is to easily we can observe how this task is related with work package, how that work package is related with our overall project. So outlining helps organize your task into more manageable chunks. You can indent related task under more general task, creating a hierarchy. So the hierarchy is easily possible when you indent your subtask, you can indent your work packages. The general tasks are called summary task. The indent task below the summary task is called subtask. So, a summary task start and finish dates are determined by the start and finish date of its earliest and latest subtask. Now, we will discuss about assigning resources to task. You can use resource sheet in Microsoft project to list the people, equipment, material resources to make up your team and carrying out project task. Your resource list will consist of work resources or material resources. Work resources are people or equipment, material resources are consumable materials or supplies such as concrete, wood or nails. The further explanation, what is the work resources? For example, people, how much percentage of that person, for example, project manager, we can see the project manager whether the 100% of his full time is going to be used this project or only 50% of this project manager is going to be used here. So, when that 50% will come, sometime a project manager may work for 2 projects. So, he can devote only 50% of time. So, there you can specify percentage of commitment. So, that comes under work resources. Here we can say people, equipment to complete the task. Then cost resources, we can consider the financial cost associated with a task. For example, travel expenses, food expenses, that comes under cost expenses. And for example, the work resources, we can say how much we are going to pay per hour, that is possible in work resources. But in the cost resources, only the total amount can be specified. The next one, material resources, consumables used as a project proceeds. So, that is a material, consumable is the materials. For example, paint being used while painting a wall, for example, cement, iron, concrete, these are all example of material resources. There you can write what is the unit price, then at the time of allocation say unit say 400 rupees. So, suppose we are allocating 5 units, so 5 into 400, that much cost will be spent for when you allocate material resources. Dear students, in this lecture I have discussed about importance of softwares for managing large projects. There I have given a overview of different projects. Specifically, I have given a very detailed explanation about salient features of Microsoft project and Oracle Primavera. Then I have given some of the important activities that can be done with the help of MS project. For example, how to group the resources, for example, how to allocate the resources, for example, how to show the milestones and so on. So, in the next class, I will take a sample problem. With the help of that sample problem, I will explain various ways we can enter the data, we can assign the resources, we can see the views, we can see the baseline. Like that, we can see with the help of a sample problem, we can see how to use MS project to understand or to execute our project. Thank you.